about just taking that early lead and maintaining the lead the way you guys did tonight, never really giving ECU a chance to get back into this game. How did you guys feel like you were able to maintain your lead?
It was on the defensive end for sure. I think the whole year we just been talking about putting a 40-minute game together, and I think tonight was the closest we've been.
Go to Eric Lopez, please.
How did it feel to be out there on the court playing in a conference tournament game there, the feel there early on for you guys?
It felt great. A lot of guys were telling me last year they came here and they lost that first game. So it was really good to get a win, with those guys and play well. I think we did a good job tonight. We just got to keep pushing.
Other questions for Darius, please? Jonathan Alfano, please.
Darius, you guys really locked down ECU tonight, especially from three-point range. Kind of describe your defensive performance.
That was just staying locked into the scouting report. The coaches do a really good job of watching film and then relaying us the information they receive from that. So, they put a lot of stuff together for us to do on the defensive end, and we just made sure we did that when we got on the floor.
Okay, we'll go next to Brandon Helwig, please.
Darius, can you talk about the impact of Avery Diggs in this game and just really the last few games as well? He was 6 of 7 tonight with 12 points.
Avery's cold. I love Avery's game. He's really skilled. He makes great decisions every time he has a basketball. So it's really good to be on the floor with him. And nothing of what he did was a surprise tonight or any game before. Everybody's really expects that from him. So he just goes out and does what he does.
Okay, we can go back to Brian Murphy.
Darius, you guys know the next up you've got Memphis. You played them earlier, back-to-back games early this season, and had more than 40 turnovers in those two games. How has this team changed since then, especially with ball control?
I think we changed a lot. A lot of guys are starting to come down on the turnovers that they've had early on in the season. We're starting to come together more, knowing spots the guys are going to be in and stuff like that. So I think tomorrow's going to be a lot different.
Go back to Eric Lopez for the next one, please.
Where do you feel your team defense is right now? Do you feel this is the best defense right now you've been playing all season as a group?
I think tonight was a really good performance for us on the defensive end, but I definitely think we could be better. We got a lot of guys that are really good defensively, and they just have a lot of potential on that end of the floor that they need to, tap into. So, hopefully we can keep growing on that end of the floor.
Go back to Jonathan Alfano for another question.
You got CJ and Brandon back after they missed the previous game due to a couple of reasons. What was the impact they had returning to the lineup?
A huge impact. CJ, monster on the glass, and then you got Brandon who can just score in bunches. So two more threats on the floor that we didn't have before, and that's kind of how it's been all season, just not having everybody on the floor at the same time. So tonight to have everybody with us, it felt really good.
Okay, we'll take one more from Brian Murphy, please.
Darius, it just, obviously seniors get an opportunity to come back next year if they want, but since you walked during senior day, I assume that this will be your final year. How much, and knowing that though, how much does this tournament mean to you in terms of, that this could be, tomorrow could be your last college basketball game. Every time you step on the floor, could be the last time you play college basketball.
I haven't really decided whether I'm coming back or not, but regardless if I do, every game means a lot to me. It could be a regular season game, it could be a postseason game. Every game I play like it's going to be my last. So tonight was no different for sure, and the rest of the time is going to be no different. I'm always play with my whole heart and make sure that I leave everything on the floor.
We'll take the last one from Brandon Helwig, please.
Yeah, Darius, when you guys played Memphis during the regular season, you had to play their back-to-back games, 2 games in 3 days, both on the road. It might have been the low point of the conference year. They got you guys pretty good. How much are you looking forward to another opportunity of potentially knocking off Memphis tomorrow night?
That's always a great opportunity, to play a team that you lost to before. So, Memphis is a good team, and we just hope to do the things we need to do to knock them off tomorrow. I know they're going to come with it, playing really hard, and we just have to match that energy or surpass it, and make sure we do the things we need to do to win that game.
Darius, thank you. We'll let you get back to the locker room. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Darius.
Sure.
Okay, we're joined now by UCF head coach Johnny Dawkins. Coach, congratulations on the win and on advancing. We'll take an opening statement from you if you would, and then we'll open up to questions, please.
Well, I thought our guys played a really good game, 40 minutes. One of the best games we've had all season as far as how we executed, I thought, on both ends of the floor. And you give, ECU a lot of credit as well. I mean, I've watched them, battle their ups and downs this season with regards to COVID, same thing we were doing. And, give them a lot of credit. I thought they came out, they were competing. They were playing their best basketball before COVID hit them about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And they're starting to bounce back. But we're just happy that we're able to move forward and excited about another opportunity to play tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach. We'll open up to questions now. Just again, use the raise hand feature in Zoom, or you can just drop me a note in the chat and we'll get you in the queue. And we'll start with Brian Murphy, please.
Coach, how pleased with you with your team's ability to really maintain your lead basically throughout the game? Once you got that early lead after that 10-0 run at the start, you guys, were never up by less than 4. What did you feel about the ability to maintain it?
You see growth. That's the maturity we're looking for in our team. We like to, use the term killer instinct. When you get a team down, how do you keep them down? And so we've been working on that throughout this season. And it was good to see it kind of come together today where we were able to get a lead and maintain it. And it's something that, like I said, you got to grow into as a program. Each player has to run his race and get better in that area. And I think you saw that progress with some of our younger players that were in late game situations maintaining that lead.
Go next to Trace Trylko, please.
Coach, your defense in the first half, you were pretty effective with Jayden Gardner. Talk about that, how you were able to keep him contained in the first half.
It's like I always said about him. I have a lot of respect for his game. He's going to be a 2,000-plus scorer, in the AAC, which is a heck of an accomplishment. And so you just want to try to contain him. He's going to find opportunities. He's going to receive the ball enough, and he's an elite scorer. So we just wanted to make sure we made it difficult for him to catch the ball as much as we could. We wanted to try to crowd him when we could so that, we could try to take up the space on the floor. But like I said, he still finds ways to score, which is amazing. But I thought our guys did a great job on him. I thought they really, followed the game plan and were alert to what he was doing. And I think we were able to contain him enough to get the win.
Take the next one from Jonathan Alfano, please.
But you guys really locked down ECU from beyond the arc, holding them to just 19%. Was that something you really emphasized this week during practice?
No, we did. We thought it would be important to try to take the 3 ball away from them. White can shoot the 3 ball, and Newton's capable. JJ can make shots out there, Suggs. So we really wanted to make sure we, honored those guys and had a healthy respect for where they were on the perimeter, trying to chase them off the threes, trying to make them do other things with the basketball. And I thought the guys were fairly alert most of the night. And so that's something that we definitely emphasized.
Take the next one from Brandon Helwig, please.
Coach, CJ Walker made his return tonight after missing the previous couple of games with an ankle. First of all, how good was it to have him back? And you only played 11 minutes, so you're just trying to ease him back into action?
Well, I think foul trouble hurt him there. I think he had 4 fouls. I would have played him more, but just kidding. But no, he is great to have him back. He's an integral piece of what we do, and we're excited to have him back on the floor. His versatility really helps us in a lot of areas defensively as well as offensively. So just good to have him back, good to have him healthy.
Okay, we'll take another from Brian Murphy, please.
Coach, we all know Brandon Mahan's a great 3-point shooter, 43% this season. But when he makes those threes like he did tonight from like 27 feet out, what do you think? Because like the TV show Vince Taylor shaking his head, I have to imagine you have the same reaction.
Well, I've seen him do it. I'm always fine with what I see guys do in practice, and he's done that in practice. So for me, I'm pretty easy. You do what you do in practice, and he makes those shots, in practice, enough where you can allow him to take a few of them. The thing I like about him, he does a great job of making timely shots, timely threes, momentum busters, and he's done that this entire season. I was happy to see him do it again tonight for us because, as you mentioned, he's coming off of missing the game as well. And so to see him get back in rhythm today was very important for us.
Go to Eric Lopez now, please.
Coach, how did it feel for you to be back on the court in a conference tournament settings after obviously last year getting canceled when you were getting prepared to play, back on the court here 2 years? What did it mean for you and the players to be back on the court playing a postseason game?
Man, we were really excited. I mean, you remember last year we were in the locker room just like today, and we were about to go out and play the game, and they canceled the tournament and they canceled our season. So it was heartbreaking, especially for our seniors, upperclassmen that didn't have a do-over. That was probably one of the low points of my coaching career, having to look at those guys in the faces. And it was tough to have to talk with those guys about their season ending that way. So this year to come back a year later, basically almost exactly, and come back and play, it meant a lot. I think it meant a lot for those guys in the locker room, not taking it for granted, understanding how this thing can be taken easy like it was. So just a really good feel. I think I felt really good about it, and I think our players did as well.
Run through a couple more here. Jonathan Alfano again, please.
How does it feel to get another shot at Memphis tomorrow night, knowing the previous games went the way they did?
We're just excited to still be playing. Memphis is just our next opponent. We're excited to have an opportunity to get out there and compete. I mean, right now it's, everybody starts back 0-0. It's a brand new season. So we're looking forward to playing. Of course, we didn't play as well as we think we could have played there, but you give them a lot of credit for that. They did a good job defensively and offensively as well. So we have to be better, and we understand that, and we have an opportunity to keep playing tomorrow, and we're excited about it.
Take a follow-up from Trace Trylko, please.
Coach Avery Diggs has really made the best use of his minutes down the stretch. Comes up with 12 tonight. Talk about the contribution he's making.
You know what? He's been terrific for us. Even when he wasn't playing, he was practicing, and he kept working. And then when he got his opportunities, he made the most out of it. So I'm really proud of him and what he's capable of doing. I think his best basketball is still ahead of him, even this season, if we can keep going forward, because he does a great job offensively for us, especially anchoring our offense. We can play through him at times. He understands our system. So, with that experience, he becomes very valuable, and I'm just really proud of him for being ready for his opportunity, and he's definitely making the most out of it.
Okay, we'll wrap it up with Brandon Helwig and then Brian Murphy. We'll start with Brandon, please.
Coach, what are your impressions of facing Memphis tomorrow? Obviously, it's been a few weeks since you played. I know they're coming off, they had a tough setback at Houston the other day. Just what's kind of your impressions, and what do you expect of Memphis tomorrow night as a team-wise?
A talented basketball team going to come out and play with a lot of energy, come out pressing. They press for almost 40 minutes. They're very active. They're long defensively. We have to make sure that we, play with poise. We have to be poised out there on the floor. We need to execute our press breaks well, and we need to make sure we're putting the ball in our guys' hands where they can operate. And so that's kind of what, offhand, I hadn't had a chance to watch a lot of them because we've been scouting East Carolina. But from what I recall, that's who they've been, and I don't see why they would change.
Okay, and then last one from Brian Murphy, please.
Hey, Coach, you talked about Avery, but also having Jamil Reynolds provide some points and good minutes there as well. How important are those two, especially against a bigger team like Memphis, especially going up against a guy like Musa Cisse?
No, absolutely. It's very important to have some depth at that center position because, of course, Cisse is one of the best bigs in our conference. He's a elite player. And so we need to make sure that we have guys that we can throw in the game and feel confident that they can compete. And I think both of our players are in that position. They both are playing well, and so that gives us some depth there, which we'll need.
Coach Dawkins, thank you. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right, guys, take care.
Okay, we're joined by Jayden Gardner of East Carolina. Again, we'll do the same format as before, just in Zoom. Just use the raise hand feature, or just drop me a note in the chat to get in the queue for questions. We'll start with Stephen Igoe, please.
Jayden, it just seemed like it was a frustrating night for you guys. You never really could get into a rhythm. How can you kind of describe this one?
Yeah, it was a tough one. We couldn't get in a rhythm all night. We made some strides here and there, but they really punched us in the mouth throughout the whole game, and credit to them and their game plan. But yeah, we were just a little off tonight, a little off kilter.
Go next to Ronnie Woodward, please.
Jayden, I know it's kind of heat of the moment right now, but as you kind of head into the offseason, just what do you maybe think needs to to happen, or what do you think the focus maybe needs to be the program to obviously kind of move up in this league?
Just got to have better perimeter shooting. Get in the gym more. Just got to get better mentally and physically, and just really just be a student of the game.
We'll go back to Steven, please.
Jayden, what was kind of the locker room atmosphere like? I know nobody will see their season come to an end, but kind of describe what the emotions were in there.
I mean, we have some seniors and some senior walk-ons, and it was very emotional. No, yeah, like you said, no one wants their season to end, be a game, but just got to console those guys and just thank them for all they've done for the program, because they've done a tremendous part.
Go next to Brian Murphy, please.
Jayden, in the first half, you only had 4 shots. Was UCF's defense doing anything that really frustrated you, or what do you think caused that?
Just a little bit of everything, just timing. I had some looks that I could have got from my teammates, but they made good plays throughout the night. And just credit to them. They've been doing Coach Dawkins. He does a really good job of scheming for me. And I was able to be effective in the second half. We got some good looks, but yeah. So just credit to their defensive scheme on me.
I think Chuck called him. Did you call on me there, Chuck?
You're up, Patrick.
Okay, thank you. Jayden, as far as just kind of characterizing the last month and a half, go from the high of beating Houston, you guys play a couple of close losses to some really good teams, but then things are shut down. Did you ever feel like you guys were ever just able to kind of get out of the starter's block with this most recent restart?
I mean, really, I besides like our non-conference, after we came back from Christmas break, we haven't been in a rhythm at all during the second half of the season. But it's not we can control. I mean, we're going through a pandemic, so we just got to do what we got to do. Teams are still coming out of pauses and still playing well. So we just have to be able to adjust to that. And this will be a learning experience for how to deal with this next season.
Okay, we'll take a couple more for Jayden. We'll go to Dan Tortora, please.
Jayden, just kind of going off of that, what you can say about navigating through this as a student athlete, and such an interesting year and a very trying year, I'm sure, on you as a player, that we don't get to see the fact that you don't really have a life. You go to practice, you go to your games, you go back to your room, you can't really do anything. How have you handled this season, and what can you say about the life of a student athlete?
It's tough for everybody. So I'm gonna speak for myself. I mean, I'm a selfless guy. I'm a team first guy. So I'm not gonna jeopardize my teammates or our season by going out. But things happen. So I mean, people catch COVID from the court. So if you catch it from the court, you can't really help it. But it's just a mental thing and a mental aspect. And then sometimes it's draining. It's draining on you. And I feel for all the student athletes. This is just a very draining season. You don't know when you're going to play games. It could get canceled left and right. You could be on pause, not doing anything. Can't play basketball. So I just speak to, like, I understand any student athlete going through stuff, and we just got to be there for them as teammates and brothers.
Great, Jayden. Thanks so much for your time. We'll excuse you back to the locker room.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we're joined now by ECU coach Joe Dooley. Coach, if we just get maybe your opening thoughts on the game, please, before we open up to questions.
Joe, it just seemed like UCF got up quickly and then kind of controlled the pace, and you guys made a run at times second half. But how do you kind of sum this one up?
I thought we were awful. I mean, we didn't play well. I thought they played really well. Got off to a good start. Hurt us with some, our ball screen. We hadn't given up that many layups off a ball screen defense in a while, and they bothered us early with ball screen. Then the second half, they just punished us inside with post play.
Okay, we'll take the next one from Ronnie Woodward, please.
Joe, when you look at UCF's won 12 straight in this series, and 3 this season, is it just kind of when that happens with two teams, is it a matchup thing? Is it mental at all when one team just kind of has that advantage over another for a long period of time?
I think it's been a bad matchup. I mean, I thought, our first year they hit with Taco and Aubrey Dawkins and all those guys had a lot of experienced guys. And now, I do think Mahan and obviously when they took Perry, they've stayed old and, got old and stay old. And I think those guys have developed. And obviously Reynolds, although he's a freshman, played really well against us, both games, and Diggs played really well against us. So I think it's been a matchup. I don't know. I can't imagine any of our guys even know about the streak, to tell you the truth.
Go to Patrick Johnson for the next one, please.
Coach, was it seemed like they really put the clamps on Jayden in the first half, and obviously struggled from three, so that didn't really open things up inside or really give him any room. Did one thing kind of lead to the other, or was it just a case of just not knocking down those threes tonight?
Well, the court's going to get shorter every time you don't make threes. I mean, people are just going to shrink the court on you, and they did. We didn't get to the free throw line as much as we had been recently, but when you're not making threes, it's going to shrink the court, and that's what they did.
We'll go to Dan Tortora for the next one, please.
Coach, can you just speak? I asked Jayden about this from the student athlete point of view, but just how you've taken this season and just what it's been like to coach through a pandemic and have to deal with the fact that you really don't have a life, and seeing these student athletes do the best that they can in a situation that's obviously very unique to the time.
I think that, first of all, we're not frontline responders, so it's not like we're doing anything, overly heroic, but I do think that these guys and young ladies have been unbelievably vigilant. I think they've done an unbelievable job trying to do what they want to do, which is play basketball, and a lot of sacrifice on their part. I'm proud of our guys. I'm sure that every other coach is proud of their young ladies and young men also. And it's been unique for everybody as a society, but I think they deserve a lot of credit for the sacrifices that they've made in order to play the game they love.
Okay, time for two more. We'll go to Jonathan Alfano, please.
Can you kind of describe what the dynamic is of playing a team back to back? You played them in your last regular season game, and now you played them first round of the conference tournament. What's that kind of effect have on the game?
Well, I think familiarity. We obviously, had scouting report. We just saw them a week ago Thursday, so I think that we a week ago. So I do think that you have a little bit more familiarity. Personnel, they tweaked a couple of things. We tweaked a couple of things, but I don't think there's much difference, to tell you the truth, at all. But it does make scouting report a little bit quicker.
And we'll take the last one from Steve and Igoe, please.
Coach, when you look at kind of the struggles down the stretch here for you guys, how much of it is a balance versus looking at, hey, we're obviously hurt by the COVID pause, and then maybe we still need to upgrade the talent in some certain areas?
I think both. I think both. We do need to continue to upgrade talent. I think like every other, but I do think, I looked through game notes, and I believe, if I'm not wrong, when Central Florida shut down for a little bit, they lost 6 of 7 coming out of when they came out of pause. So there's no telling how your team can respond. After these deals, there's no, book that you can read, or there's no, manual to follow. But I do think that, we'll continue. We do need to continue to upgrade our talent. We need to develop the young guys that we have in the program and try to get better.
Coach Dooley, thanks for giving us a few minutes tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.